Hello and welcome back to Big Mouth and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the DCEU Daily. The name's Mouth. Big Mouth. That isn't going to work. So let's get on with today's show. You may need to press pause. You may need to do a nice hot coffee with some biscuits. It's going to be another long one. So here we go. Zack Snyder has been incredibly quiet of late, but he got his revenge with posting a picture of a pizza. This is not the pizza. This is a picture of his very own Martian Manhunter. And doesn't he look different and amazing? And he certainly looks different to the one we see on Arrowverse. And this is why I think he looks so different. Obviously, not the best of pictures. Just a quick mock-up by Zack. But he looks sensational. He looks gorgeous. And he looks amazing. And I'd definitely take him out on a date. I wonder if he would drink me under the table. Anyway, so what do we make of this look for Martian Manhunter? Well, I think this is a really old version of Martian Manhunter. I think this is a Martian Manhunter who's really been around. Now, it's really interesting to think how much in this film will we see Martian Manhunter. Well, I don't think very much. I think in Zack Snyder's Justice League Season 1, we see him maybe once, maybe twice. We definitely see him reveal himself to Lois Lane, if I remember rightly. Now, we know he's disguised as Martha Kent. So that bit in the trailer when she embraces Diane Lane's Martha Kent, that's actually Martian Manhunter, and he actually reveals himself. So great that we've finally seen this brilliant picture of the guy himself, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing the future seasons of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I'm talking like it's a matter of fact because I absolutely believe it is a matter of fact. This will be the most successful streaming event, as I keep saying. And you could even have a series of just this character. Wouldn't that be amazing? So he's looking really good. And there is an article from Screen Rant to go along with this reveal. And here's the article. Zack Snyder reveals first look at Martian Manhunter design in Justice League. Zack Snyder reveals the first look at Martian Manhunter's design that will be included in the Snyder Cut of Justice League series on HBO Max. This is by Cooper Hood. The first look at Martian Manhunter's design for Zack Snyder's Justice League has arrived. Snyder spent years planning and building the DC Extended Universe after Man of Steel's release in 2013. He mapped out a 5-film plan revolving around Henry Cavill's Superman, with Justice League scheduled to be the middle chapter, although fans didn't see his vision realised when the movie arrived in 2017 after he exited the film and it was heavily reshot. Snyder is now getting to complete his version of Justice League as an HBO Max series. Snyder's new cut of Justice League will re-add all of the footage and storylines that were previously cut, but it will also include elements he never got to do. Even before the Snyder Cut was official, the director teased that he wanted to film more scenes. One of them included Martian Manhunter, which would confirm the long-running fan theory that Henry Lennox's General Swanwick is the shape-shifting alien hero. Now, Snyder has shared what he will look like. It's not really a fan theory. Pretty much Zack told us that, which made the thing official. Anyway, sorry to correct you there, Cooper, but we got to be factual here, haven't we? In a League of Mayhem stream hosted by the Nerd Queens, Zack Snyder joined the Zoom call to discuss a variety of topics during the live stream. Snyder revealed the first look at Martian Manhunter's design. Although he was quick to note that it is merely a drawing, okay, just a drawing, fair enough, the brief glimpse at it provides fans with a better idea of how the character will look in Justice League than the storyboard Snyder previously released that featured him. I didn't even know he was going to do this with the Nerd Queens. The Nerd Queens have got me blocked, of course, so we don't want to go into that again. It's great. It's great for them. It's great for their platform. And it's great that Zack can go to real fans and talk like this and talk about the cut because we're all very excited and we're all hungry for more information. So I think it's definitely a positive thing. Martian Manhunter has been teased several times by Snyder throughout the process of the Snyder Cut getting announced. However, it is still expected he will only have a minor role in the movie, as we've just discussed. Martian Manhunter's only confirmed scene in Justice League will be with Lois Lane and Martha Kent. Well, he'll pose as Martha, but since Snyder also teased Superman and Batman's involvement in a scene with Lois and Martian Manhunter, perhaps he'll have a bigger role than expected, or return in Justice League 2, probably return in Justice League 2. But we don't know what Zack's doing. We could have more of the big green bombshell, and I hope that we do. Even with this design for Martian Manhunter in Justice League servicing, fans will still have to wait for a proper image of his live-action look. In fact, the official look at Martian Manhunter in the Snyder Cut might not be seen until the series debuts. The fact that he'll likely have a small role doesn't bode well for the chance that he'd be featured in the marketing. That said, if Snyder wants to further emphasise how different his Justice League is when compared to the theatrical movie, showing a glimpse of another hero would do the trick. Let's be absolutely clear here. Zack Snyder, in his first trailer for his Justice League movie, showed Cyborg's dad getting killed. One of the biggest spoilers. Of course, we knew this was coming. If you followed everything that was going on in the push to get this cut released, Zack Snyder had told us that on Vero many, many moons ago. So it wasn't a spoiler for us, a spoiler for other people who are intrigued, but he just wanted to show us that his original vision was going to be realised. And I think that's great. Now, I don't know if he's going to use Martian Manhunter in any future marketing. I think maybe not in the trailers, but there's going to be posters sooner rather than later. And I think Martian Manhunter may get a very special one. But this is very, very exciting. I'm so grateful to Zack for going on the Nerd Queens, answering the questions, showing us the drawing of Martian Manhunter. We're so excited for what you're doing, Zack, and we're so utterly grateful for any information you give us. We're back with Screen Rant with more Zack Snyder's Justice League. It seems to be the day of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know, I'm really happy when I'm able to talk about this because it's been really quiet on the Justice League front. And we've been talking about other stuff, but I think what you and I really want to talk about on these videos is Zack's Justice League. So really excited that there's a few articles to read today on this movie. Justice League, Jared Leto's Joker needs a darker makeover in Snyder's Cut. This is by Nicholas Ayala. Given that Zack Snyder's Justice League will fix several key parts of the DCEU, Jared Leto's Joker can benefit from a more intimidating look. Now, I think we're going to see him in the nightmare sequences, which means this is future. You know, the Joker's going to be like everyone else in this world, worn down. And he may be a maniac. He may be a criminal when the world is normal, but he can't do that anymore. He still has to have his personality, but he has to get with the program to save his very existence. So I think you could see maybe a more damaged Joker, a more emotional Joker, still a little crazy, but maybe not scary darker, but we will see anyway. The DCEU gave Jared Leto's Joker a second chance with his reintroduction in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but he will need a darker makeover in order to fit the director's vision. Joker was one of the most anticipated characters of David Ayer's Suicide Squad, promoted further by Jared Leto's slightly overzealous approach to the role. Oh, shut up. Unfortunately, the messy theatrical cut of the 2016 movie, as well as the Joker's eccentric design, thwarted Leto's efforts to create a credible villain. Look, even with that pop video edit that we got, which is the theatrical cut of Suicide Squad, I actually liked what I saw, and I really need to see more. But it isn't the vision that they had in mind, and we need to see that. Where are we? Eccentric design, thwarted Leto, yeah. So Leto's take on the clown prince of crime was also affected by the character's history. Joker has been successfully depicted as a dark agent of chaos by comic book writers such as Alan Moore, The Killing Joke, and Frank Miller, The Dark Knight Returns, as well as by the Academy Award-winning actors Heath Ledger in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight and Joaquin Phoenix's in Todd Phillips' psychological thriller Joker. For today's standards, a playful tattoo-covered Joker doesn't fit the general audience's expectations for the villain, much less when he's part of a cinematic universe that's widely known for its dark tone. Here's the thing for me. Yeah, the problem is with audiences' expectations, you can't make a film or develop a character look or personality on expectations. Jared's Joker should never have been a copy of what Heath Ledger did in The Dark Knight. It needed to be something different. This is a new 52 take. This is what he's like in the new 52. Get with the program. Embrace it. It's something different, fresh, and revolutionary. Why moan and call it rubbish just because it's not copying another version? Now that Justice League is being restored to Snyder's original vision with the support of HBO Max and thousands of loyal fans, Leto's Joker has the opportunity to ditch the gold-plated grills and contribute some gravitas to the arrival of Darkseid. Joker's role in Zack Snyder's Justice League is still a mystery, but it's already certain that his Suicide Squad appearance doesn't quite correspond to Ben Affleck's jaded Batman by the time the events of Justice League begin. Again, the Batman is jaded because Joker killed his best friend, right? And someone he knew as a kid and he fought crime with, Dick Grayson. Of course he's jaded, but why does the Joker have to be jaded? The Joker just has to be the Joker. Again, doesn't make sense. The first sign of the Joker's return came in the form of an Easter egg in the nightmare sequence shown in the first trailer for the Snyder Cut, in which one of his playing cards floats anonymously through the air, along with the return of Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello. This suggests Joker will either play an active role in Earth's final peaceful moments or become a more thematic indication of Batman's defeat. I'll tell you what's going to happen, my theory. Now, we've all said it. All the fans who know so much about the cut, thanks to Zack and his post on Vero, he's going to be part of the nightmare sequences. He's going to team up with the remaining Justice League to fight Darkseid. That's the whole point. The repaired version of Justice League, which overwrites the 2017 critical bomb, also allows Joker to be more faithful to David Ayer's original vision for Suicide Squad. Ayer had planned Batman's arch nemesis to be darker in tone and more in line with Zack Snyder's black DCEU. If the Snyder's bleak DCEU, I really can't read. Any reading lessons, someone? Right. If the Joker's appearance in the Snyder Cut succeeds in teasing his transformation into a more serious threat, the Ayer cut could also have the higher probability of seeing the light of day. In short, the Joker could be solid proof that previous failed DCEU movies are still worth revisiting. I wouldn't call nearly 800 million for the original Suicide Squad a failed movie. Would you? And by the way, what he just said there is proof that we need to see the Ayer cut before Zack's Justice League. Just my personal opinion. Reimagining Leto's Joker isn't necessarily synonymous with rebuilding him from scratch. Joker is a character that allows for an almost limitless array of interpretations, and not all of them need to follow the darkest style possible. One accurate quality of Leto's performance was Joker's craziness, something other adaptations have disregarded in favour of his creative evil plans. Leto's deranged demeanour could remain intact, it will, as long as the character's goofy appearance stops diverting attention away from it. Goofy? Comic books have already done exactly that, with a maniacal Joker wearing a purple formal suit and a deformed smile and no gangster wannabe damaged tattoos at all. But that's what the new 52 Joker is. This is what this Joker is. Like it or lump it, and many people like it. Some of the Joker's most intimidating moments in Suicide Squad were cut from the film. For instance, the scene where his face is burned after the helicopter crash encapsulates how scary he can become. Add a pair of eyebrows and a more grisly layer of makeup, and Leto's interpretation of Joker would be the scariest, most comic book accurate one to ever be put on film. All things considered, he's already pretty close to being a credible threat to Batman, both psychologically and in combat. Zack Snyder's Justice League just needs to help him look the part. There's some elements of truth to this article. Some of it I don't like. One of the things for me is whether you like Jared's version of the Joker in Suicide Squad or not, it's nothing to do with Jared. Jared is a critically acclaimed, I think, Oscar-winning actor. He's very special. He's very talented, and so he was so excited about doing this. And the betrayal from the old regime of WB betrayed him, like they betrayed David and like they betrayed Zack. And now this, the new regime, and Zack, and David, and Jared are going to fix what once went wrong. And for me, that's fantastic. Justice League, Darkseid's modern look and armour revealed in new image. And we have got it on this article as well. This is by Brad Curran. With the Justice League Snyder Cut arriving on HBO Max next year, a new t-shirt design for the movie offers another look at Darkseid. A fresh look at Darkseid has been unveiled in a new t-shirt design for the Justice League Snyder Cut. Now officially to be titled Zack Snyder's Justice League, Snyder's long unseen original cut of the film will hit HBO Max next year, debuting on the platform as a 4-part miniseries with the 3-year anniversary of Justice League's theatrical debut right around the corner. All eyes are on social media for what the new information on the Snyder Cut arrives between now and then. Yeah, I think Zack will drop something big on the anniversary of the theatrical cut, and I'm really excited for it. The Snyder Cut will include numerous characters completely dropped from the theatrical version of the movie, including DC's mega villain Darkseid, played by Ray Porter. This past August offered the first look at footage of Darkseid in the Snyder Cut's trailer, releasing during DC Fandom. But despite what has been revealed about his role in the movie, Darkseid remains among the Snyder Cut's most guarded secrets, though that's likely to hold true between now and its release. On HBO Max, newer Darkseid-related material is also starting to surface. A new Snyder Cut t-shirt from Snyder himself, excuse me, this throat. A new Snyder Cut t-shirt from Snyder himself has debunked on ink to the people, has debuted on ink to the people, featuring the design of Darkseid drawn by Alex Pardee. The back of the shirt also includes a Darkseid quote from the film, "All of existence shall be mine." Wow, that's from the film. That's awesome. The shirt is the latest charitable endeavour relating to the Snyder Cut, with funds raised to be donated to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. The goal of the newly released shirt is $70,000, which would be in addition to the $430,000 already raised. And here's the t-shirt. And that's the design of Darkseid. So we're assuming this is an accurate depiction of what we're going to see in Zack Snyder's Justice League. The first takeaway from the shirt design is that it offers a glimpse at Darkseid's contemporary look, complete with armour. The trailer depicts a younger Darkseid who leads the forces of Apocalypse in the invasion of Earth. During the movie's history lesson, the theatrical Justice League would trade Darkseid for Steppenwolf in this sequence, which also exercised such elements as Darkseid going toe-to-toe with Ares, which is a tragedy, isn't it? As for Darkseid's line on the shirt, it obviously sounds exactly like the kind of universe-conquering villainy that he embodies as the ruler of Apocalypse. More importantly, it sounds like a clear allusion to Darkseid's quest to acquire the anti-life equation in order to eliminate free will. This is also what led to Superman's downfall in the nightmare future scene in Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice, with Snyder's planned layout for the DCEU to involve Superman becoming easy prey for the anti-life equation following Darkseid's killing of Lois Lane. With the 3-year anniversary of Justice League nearing, the Snyder Cut is assured to be a hot topic between movie buffs once again, with the difference being that the film is now known to be on the way. The internet will certainly be waiting with bated breath for whatever Snyder chooses to drop between now and then. Until then, the floodgates have now been opened with a new look at Darkseid, accompanied by a quote that offers a hint at how unbridled his evil in Zack Snyder's Justice League will be. What's interesting to me about Zack Snyder's Justice League, let's call it Season 1, are we just going to see Euxis, which is the younger version of Darkseid, in the original history lesson, right? Is that all we're going to see? Or are we going to see more? Now, in the original Justice League one, I think what we're supposed to see is at the end, Diana chops Steppenwolf's head. It lands. Darkseid comes through. He puts his foot on the severed head. And I think that's kind of it. So I think we will see that. Definitely we'll see that. But I'm just wondering if we're going to see much more of that, of Darkseid. I have my doubts. Look, I love Darkseid, one of the best villains. Don't even compare him to Thanos. Jesus Christ. He would destroy Thanos. Forget about it. Anyway, Yeah, I hope to see lots more of Darkseid in Zack Snyder's Justice League. We haven't seen him yet, and there's so much going on in Zack Snyder's Justice League with Steppenwolf and Darkseid, which I will explain at the end of the programme, or the show, or the video. Old sinuses are really playing up now, so let's hope we can get through this really, really fun video. Well, it's fun for me doing this because DC, literally, this sounds really sad, is my life. Zack Snyder already has Justice League 2 planned out. No shit, Christopher Fiducia. Zack Snyder reveals that he has potential ideas for Justice League 2 and Darkseid after his miniseries comes to HBO Max in 2021. Zack Snyder reveals that he already has ideas for Justice League 2. Isn't that exciting? The first Justice League came out in 2017, which brought together Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman and Cyborg. The film was met with negative reviews, mainly because it was clear that two directors had their hands on the project. I don't think there were two directors. That theatrical cut was all Joss Whedon's, baby. The film was met with negativity reviews, mainly because it was clear that two directors had their hands on the project. As most fans are aware, Snyder had to step away from Justice League due to a family tragedy, which is when Warner Brothers hired Joss Whedon to finish the project. Fans petitioned for years to get the Snyder Cut, and it's finally happening in the form of a TV miniseries on HBO Max. The main problem fans had with Whedon's Justice League was how much he ripped from Snyder's original vision. Several plot points were diminished or removed altogether, such as Cyborg's extended story and revealing General Swanwick as Martian Manhunter. Darkseid was first teased in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, with many people believing he would be the villain in Justice League. Steppenwolf became the main villain in Whedon's version, but Darkseid is making a comeback in the Justice League miniseries. While that has been known for a while now, Snyder has just teased his potential plans for Darkseid after the Snyder Cut is released in 2021. During a League of Mayhem live stream from the Nerd Queen, Snyder revealed that he has a story for Darkseid that expands past the Snyder Cut. Wow! And there's a quote here. The director explained that Ray Porter was asked at a Comic-Con event, I'm so excited I'm reading wrong again, about returning as Darkseid after the Snyder Cut. The two had a conversation about what that would look like. Snyder's full comment can be read below. If you said to any of the actors in the movie, well, what happens in the movie, or what happens later, or whatever for any movie, and they'll go, well, I've got the script and it's cool and I kind of know this, and so Ray Porter and I were talking about this and what's cool or what's the right response to some question. It's a fair question to ask me, like what do I say to the world about, what happens when Darkseid comes to Earth? Then what, is that a thing? And I think, listen, the truth is that did I write and did I have and conceive a complete do I know what happens when Darkseid? Yes, I do know what happens to say and to speculate about what that is, and that would be exciting. I think that's a fine thing. So again, Zack is feeding us the potential. There's more to come from this character in more Justice League seasons or movies or whatever. But beyond that, like the rumours about a Batfleck straight-to-streaming series or movie, limited series, right? Or a Joker straight-to-streaming series. You could do the same with Ray Porter's Darkseid, which I think is damn awesome. The potential in the Snyderverse is limitless. While Darkseid's role in Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't quite clear, Steppenwolf is still believed to be the main antagonist in the film. Yes, that's true. Darkseid would be the obvious choice for an antagonist in Justice League 2, and this quote makes it clear that Snyder has already thought that far ahead. Fans might not see Darkseid come to Earth in 2021, but Snyder seems to have a complete story arc for Darkseid in his mind. This also indicates that even if Darkseid does square off against Justice League in the Snyder Cut, the villain won't be killed just yet. You never, ever kill the best villains. And I know Snyder and Nolan and Goyer killed off Zod. I don't agree with killing these iconic villains because I want them to keep on recurring. But with Flashpoint, that could be sorted out. With all that in mind, Justice League 2 has not been confirmed by Warner Brothers and likely won't be until Zack Snyder's Justice League has been released on HBO Max. Directors don't often get the chance to completely remake one of their films, let alone with a reported $70 million budget. So Snyder's venture is a bit of a gamble for Warner Brothers. Granted, DC fans are dying to see the Snyder Cut and would be thrilled to see Darkseid in Justice League 2. Oh yes. But a sequel will all depend on how Zack Snyder's Justice League performs next year. It's going to be the most watched streaming event on a streaming platform of all time. And there's going to be so much more Snyderverse. And already we're hearing about, another Aquaman animated series as well, which is really exciting. Wow, great article. Before I read the next article, which is about Black Adam's Aldous Hodge, I want to kind of continue what we were talking about just a minute ago about Darkseid. Look, Zack had a movie arc planned. So he knew what he was going to do with Darkseid. He knew he would be involved in number 2 and number 3. And now we could get even more, because it's not just about an arc anymore. It's about this platform, HBO Max. They need the Snyderverse of the DC Extended Universe. They're desperate for it. They're hungry for it. And so are us, the consumer. So there's no reason why we can't just get more and more. But you and I have to support it. We can't just be talking a good game. We need to be there to watch it on whatever platform it's on. Even if you're busy, have it on. But keep on putting it on. Of course you will anyway. You don't need me to tell you that. Anyway, on to the next article. Black Adam's Aldous Hodge waited 15 years to be cast in a superhero movie. Black Adam star Aldous Hodge, who will play Hawkman in the forthcoming DC film, reveals that he's wanted to play a superhero for 15 years by Tiffany Wang. Black Adam's Aldous Hodge has waited 15 long years to play a superhero. Hodge will join the cast of Black Adam, which will star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the titular role. Although not much is known about the film, Black Adam will reportedly feature the Justice Society of America, including heroes such as Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Hawkman. I love saying Atom Smasher. Hodge signed on to play Hawkman in late September. Since then, Hodge has been hard at work preparing for the role and has reportedly been reading the Justice Society of America comic books to learn more about his character. However, it's still unclear how closely Black Adam intends to follow the hero's origin story, considering Hawkman's comic book backstory is one of the most complicated out there, and that Hawkgirl will not appear in the film. Fans remain in the dark about what to expect. Right. There's no evidence that Hawkgirl won't be in this film. In fact, I think Hawkgirl will be in this film, maybe in flashbacks, but we will see. So I don't know why she said that. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Hodge reveals that he's wanted to play a superhero for 15 years. Now, he explains that he's loved superheroes since childhood. He actually got into acting to save up for new Batman toys. As a result, wow, that's a great story, isn't it? As a result, Hodge says he's incredibly excited for the part, especially since he's been auditioning for superhero roles for well over a decade. You can check out Hodge's heartwarming statement on his superhero dreams below. There was some part of my brain that said, he's calling to tell me that I didn't get the job. So I was preparing for that while I was in a state of disbelief. And then when he said, "Welcome to Black Adam," it was literally like what I imagined winning the lottery to feel like. I had been very, very much looking forward to being a part of any kind of superhero universe. I didn't care. Where are we? I've lost it. Much looking forward to being part of any kind of superhero universe. I didn't care what it was for such a long time, just because I had been such a fan. I grew up on graphic novels. I got into the business so I could earn money to buy Batman toys, you know. It was like 13 to 15 years of constantly going up to bat and getting told no. So it really was a validation of those last few years of pursuit, hustle, and preparation. Isn't it great for an actor of colour to tell us about how excited he is to play a role, being positive rather than keep on politically weaponising the entertainment industry? We know people of colour haven't had much of an opportunity in the past 30 to 40 years, and that's wrong. They're certainly making up for it now, which is positive. But to hear this guy's excitement really warms my heart. While this may be Hodge's first time portraying a superhero, he's played his fair share of heroic figures. In the past one, Example, in his time on TNT series Leverage, where he played Master Hacker Alec Hardison. Hardison is part of the team of the 5 Robin Hood-esque characters. Together, Hardison's team works to pull off elaborate cons, which help ordinary people who have been wronged by society's wealthiest, most corrupt members. That being said, Hardison is arguably more morally ambiguous than Hawkman will be. And it will be exciting to see the actor finally step into the role of a superhero. Oh yeah. While Black Adam was initially slated for a 2021 release, the movie has since been pushed back indefinitely. Still, Johnson has stated that Black Adam will begin filming in spring 2021. Hopefully this means more story details and plot points will be revealed soon. Regardless, it's evident that cast members are already excited, and Hodges' enthusiasm for one is absolutely infectious. Yeah, absolutely. To that end, one thing is painstakingly clear. Hodges' role as Hawkman has indeed been a long time coming. Now, everyone sees this kind of, indefinite delay of Hawkman's release. Sorry, Hawkman? Sorry, The Rock, don't come and beat me up. Everyone sees the delay of Black Adam as a negative thing, but actually you think about going out next spring, next February, March, starting to shoot this thing, you're under no pressure whatsoever because you don't even know when the movie's going to be released. Look, it could be the first straight-to-streaming blockbuster movie of this level ever, so keep that in mind. It probably will be in cinemas as well. Maybe it'll be on both platforms. That'll be interesting as well. We don't know what 2021 will bring. We know there's a vaccine for COVID-19 now. It will be administered to the whole world, and hopefully we can all get back to some, severance of normality by next Easter, which will be amazing, March, April, May. So I think from then going forwards, cinemas can open normally then, but will the public have faith in going to the movie theatre anymore? That is the big test. But I'll tell you something, really happy for Aldis Hodge. Really excited for Hawkman being in Black Adam. One of my favourite comic book characters. He's great. This is a great actor. We have got something special coming to us next year. Hopefully next year. Wow, it's been another long episode. I don't actually take long breaks. When I pause, I just do it to pull up the next article. So it's literally, this is why my voice box is totally dead. Because I don't have the time to keep on stopping and starting and doing it later. And my internet is shit. It takes like 10 hours to upload a video this long. Anyway, it's worth it for you, worth it for me, it's worth it for all of us. We're doing this together. 20 to 50 people a day is really special that you come in. And I'm really, really grateful. Anyway, Arrow Season 9 theory. What Stephen Amell's return would look like. Now, this is interesting. Stephen Amell has said he previously considered playing Oliver again and bringing Arrow back for Season 9. If it did happen, this is how it could work. If Arrow Season 9 somehow did happen, and in fact, I'm not going to say anything right now, I'm not authorised to do so, but something could happen. Anyway, what would the show be like, and how would Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen be brought back to the land of the living? After several years of saving Star City and fighting alongside other heroes to protect the world, Oliver lost his life in the 2019-2020 Arrowverse crossover event, Crisis on Infinite Earths. After perishing in an attempt to save the people of Supergirl's world, Oliver returned as the Spectre and died again in a dramatic showdown with the anti-Monitor, LaMonica Garrett. The Arrow series finale concluded with Oliver going into the afterlife to be with Felicity Emily Beck Rickards, thus ending Oliver's Arrowverse story for good. Though the character is seemingly gone from the Arrowverse forever, his legacy lives on as characters like Barry Allen, Grant Gustin continue to remember the impact he had on their lives. While the Arrowverse has moved on from Arrow, Stephen Amell has recently restarted discussions and speculation about the possibility of the character returning in some capacity. According to Amell, the coronavirus pandemic left the actor in a situation where he was desperate for work. It reached a point where he seriously considered coming back to play Oliver in Arrow Season 9. Even though he has previously pushed back on ever returning to the Arrowverse, actually what he has said, especially when Dexter was announced to come back, he said never say never. I think he's coming back. even for guest appearance. Apparently, Amell called Arrowverse's producer Greg Berlanti and asked him if they could figure out a way to bring Oliver Queen from the dead in case he continues to go out of work. Of course, this idea of resurrecting Oliver for a 9th season is unlikely to ever come to fruition, but it has led to a lot of talk about how it would work. Here's what Arrow Season 9 could be about if something like this did happen in the Arrowverse's future. The Arrowverse is a world full of ways to bring back nearly any character anytime. Let's not forget here, nobody really dies in Arrowverse. He could easily come back and we would be happy, especially if the ratings start to suffer on the whole franchise because, you know, it was one of the most popular shows. I was very surprised that they cancelled it. One of the most obvious ways is time travel. It could be that a character who possesses the capability to go back in time determines that the only person who can save Star City from its latest problem is Oliver Queen himself. Oliver could be plucked from a previous point in his timeline, this is true, and brought to the present, where he would have to cope with his death. In Crisis, Oliver would have to struggle with knowing that he'll die an early death. If Arrow were to use a version of Oliver Queen, who isn't ready to be that kind of hero, it could create an interesting dilemma for the character and the people around him. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. Sometimes these journalists do come out. These journalists did come out with some good ideas. Good stuff. The show wouldn't be able to move Oliver forward since it would be working with a past version, but it could advance the stories of the other Arrowverse characters such as Renee, Rick Gonzalez, Dina, Juliana Harkavy, Earth 2 Laurel, Katie Cassidy, and more. Also, there's the matter of Diggle, David Ramsey, who was left in a position to become the Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern in the Arrowverse finale. Plus, the show would be able to find new things to do with the characters that were resurrected by the crisis, including Moira, Susanna Thompson, Tommy, Colin Donnell, Captain Lance, Paul Blackthorne, and Emmy Keogh. Let's just jump over that. Arrow's final episode, Shimika. Arrow's final episode. Why did I go on that name again? Arrow's final episode explored some of the events that were changed, but didn't have time to go as far as it could. With time travel on the table, more changes and consequences could be revealed as other key events in Arrow's history are incorporated. Another way to use time travel is to combine Arrow Season 9 with its Green Arrow and the Canaries concept. Now that's an interesting one. If the show doesn't get picked up, which it doesn't look like it will, at the CW, the idea behind the show could be recycled into Arrow Season 9 with Oliver Queen time travelling to 2040, where he could form an alliance with his daughter, Maya Catherine McNamara. This would allow the show to give Oliver a completely different supporting cast and direction. It could be fun to see what Oliver would think of the future version of Star City. So, look, there is time travel. You could easily bring him back with time travel. But don't forget, we're getting a Flashpoint movie, which is going to reboot the multiverse again. So this is very, very interesting now. What does this mean? We could resurrect Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen. I mean, really cheeky of Stephen to get on the phone to Berlanti and say, look, mate, I've got no work because of COVID-19. Can't I come back? Very interesting. And this is why he's been saying never say never. I think Arrowverse is done. I think more and more of those shows will be cancelled. And I think it's interesting that they've brought Superman and Lois now. It might be one of the few ones that actually, stands the test of time. I expect The Flash to be cancelled as well in the next couple of years as well, because as DC go more to HBO Max for doing DC TV, I think what we will see are limited Arrowverse series on there rather than on the CW. But then you have to ask, what is the future of the CW without these shows? Very, very difficult. Smallville saved its bacon for many years. Then coming up with the Arrowverse really made them relevant again. So it's very, very interesting. Because if this version of Batwoman doesn't do well, they're going to be in trouble again. And then it will be just Superman and Lois holding them up. So it looks like, just like with Smallville, Superman may be the only thing keeping the CW from collapse. Now, isn't that interesting? But I think we will see Stephen Amell in Andy Muschietti's Flashpoint movie. Everyone's going to be in that movie. Don't you worry. I think there could still be a future for Stephen's Arrow. I don't know why he left. I don't know why they cancelled that show. Bit of a mistake for me. but we will see what the future holds. Remember, you can tag me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. You can make suggestions for topics for videos, anything. Entertainment TV, movies, celebrities, politics, anything you want me to do a video about, I will do. And Scott Edwards again has tagged me with a DCEU Zack Snyder's Justice League question. Here's my question for tomorrow's DCEU Daily. And the question is, how do you think Steppenwolf will be different in the Snyder Cut? Well, already, Scott, what we've seen is that physically he seems taller, he seems more physically imposing. Basically, his get-up looks really, really intimidating. But I think we're going to get more than that. This version of Steppenwolf will be very, very different. And he's going to have an arc. Now, if I remember rightly, Darkseid is Steppenwolf's uncle, right? So the whole Steppenwolf doesn't really want to be going on these worlds and destroying life. What he really wants to do is get away from his uncle Darkseid. So to do that, he has to keep on fulfilling these missions that Darkseid gives to him, hoping he will be freed eventually. So there's an arc there, and there's a love-hate relationship between Steppenwolf and Darkseid. So there's a lot more fleshing out with this character of Steppenwolf. We got nothing. All we got from Justice League was Mother, Mother, Mother. And it's like, who is Mother? If you don't know the comics, who is Mother? There's no explanation. He just arrives. We don't know him. We saw him in, Batman vs. Superman, the extended edition, right? And near the end with Lex Luthor there with no words. So we don't actually know who he is. Then all of a sudden he turns up in Justice League. Well, because we've had Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, we now know who he is. It's a continuation of that, but there will be explanations. There will be an arc there, Scott. And I think that this is the real difference between Steppenwolf in Justice League and Steppenwolf in Zack Snyder's Justice League. You are going to see something very special, very exciting, and a villain you can really call a villain. So that is today's DCEU Daily. Tag me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. Comment down below. And don't forget, if you like what I do, please smash the like button. Likes do matter. The more likes I get, the more I get seen on the YouTube algorithm. So very important. So if you like me and you want me to do well on this channel and keep going, please smash the like and the share button. And I'll be back for more DCEU Daily tomorrow. See you again soon.